everyone, this is Into the Wild. I am your host, Danny Matisia at Wild Project. I am here with two lovely human beings who are going to tell us about this lovely show called 11 Days.
Hey there, I'm Scott Mann. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a playwright, and an actor.
My name is Jason Cannon. I work with Scott on this show. I'm a career actor, director, playwright. I helped Scott get his story out into play form, and I've been directing and jamming with him on it ever since.
Wonderful. Welcome to Wild Project.
Thank you. What a cool name for the...
Thank you. I didn't name it.
Well, moving on then.
So what is 11 Days about?
11 Days is about the 11 days that transpired during the Afghanistan withdrawal in 2021, when we did a hasty exit from a 20-year war and unfortunately left thousands of our allies in a lurch. And a handful of U.S. military veterans came to their aid and got as many out as we could.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I know y'all are not from New York. Can you tell me where you were from?
So I'm from all over. I call Western North Carolina home, but we live in Tampa now, my wife and I.
Yeah, and I live down in Sarasota, which is how Scott and I met. He came to an acting class that I was teaching, and we met that like 9 or 10 years ago.
At 50 years old.
Yeah, yes.
Decided to learn how to act.
It is never too late.
It's never too late. Scott started acting at age 50, and he is a seasoned pro now.
Well, it's the ultimate midlife crisis.
So how did you come about this story? Why did you want to share this story?
Well, so I was involved actually in the withdrawal. I'd been retired from the Army for 10 years. I had a lot of friends who were Afghans, and I got pulled back into it. I didn't want to get involved with it like a lot of veterans, but we did because those were our friends. And I ended up writing a book about it called Operation Pineapple Express. That was the name of our group. And it became a New York Times bestseller. A lot of people read it, and a lot of people said, that story needs to be told from the stage. I had already been working with Jason on a play about Afghanistan that we toured. This play, Last Out. And we thought, hey, let's make it a one-person show and let's tell the story that people haven't heard about that withdrawal.
Describe your process for that.
Jason, well, you do it because we've developed a pretty cool way of bringing stuff into the world, and I really have to throw all credit to Jason on it.
So Scott wrote his book, and we had worked on a play before, and then he says to me, I want to do this as a one-man show. And I was like, are you sure? Because he'd done a play before, but a one-man show is a different kind of lift.
Yeah.
So Scott ends up playing, he plays 24 characters live on stage, plus another 10 or so that are pre-recorded, hardcore. So it started, Scott took the first crack at taking his book and turning the various chapters into different scenes. And then he came to me and we would iterate together. I would send scenes back to him, say, hey, is the structure this or this or this? I would just press hard on what exactly story he wanted to tell and how he wanted to tell it. And once we had a script in place, we did the regular workshop thing. We had a table read with people, got feedback. I went back and iterated again. Then we did another workshop reading at the Tampa Team House, test reading with a live audience. And we just kept taking the notes from the audience. And then finally, when we had a script we were happy with, we got into his story lab. It's his converted garage, our rehearsal studio. And as you do, you figure the story out on its feet. So a lot of the staging then came. So as a director, directing a kind of fourth wall, multi-actor show is one thing. You're kind of on the outside as the coach. When it's a one-person show, I feel like I'm on the field with him, right? And we're jamming in real time on our feet together. I'm sweating as hard as he is. And we had our world premiere in Tampa about a month ago, and this is our second stand-up of the show here in New York.
Then we're going to take it on the road, all over the country.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
we got shows we got shows coming up in Virginia and Ohio in the next couple months.
Fantastic. Well, I love a world tour, so congratulations. That's awesome.
When I teach directors, I've been teaching acting direction for a long, long time. When I teach directors, the number one thing I tell them is that you want to actually be invisible. That if the review mentions you, it usually is bad news. So you need to pour yourself into creating a space where all of your other artists that you're collaborating with can do their best work. It's my job to speak Scott's language. You're helping us with lights on this. It's my job to speak your language as eloquently as I can so you know what we need, but you're way better at lighting than I am. So I'm not gonna micromanage that. I think a mistake a lot of early career directors especially make is trying to micromanage. And I'm more like, hey, best idea wins no matter who it comes from. That's kind of my baseline. I start there, and then whatever each person brings to me, I'll jam with them, hopefully in their key, in their language, best I can. But it's not about Jason's vision for the show. It's about what's going to be the most effective choice for this moment that's going to make the audience gasp or laugh or cry or walk out transformed.
One of the things that Jason's done too that's really been cool is in the veteran community, we have a lot of folks who struggle with their stories. They've been through trauma, and we don't have the market cornered on it, but we've seen a lot of it. And typically what a veteran will do, or a military family member, is they just press it down. Because that's what you're trained to do, to stay alive. But, in the real world, that's not a healthy move. And so Jason has this really unique ability to basically help a veteran or a family member open up in ways just because of the way he connects and collaborates, and it doesn't feel like you're being pried open. It feels like everything that's happening is supposed to be happening, and it's really cool to watch him work with our veteran community because I think we're onto some things that could really have some healing impacts beyond the stage. And I think the community needs more of what he's bringing as a director to just the broader population.
To just piggyback on that, one of the ways in my teaching of storytelling and memoir and acting that you have to create something out of nothing. Most stories were excavating. It was already in Scott. I'm not inventing anything, right? My job is to kind of just help, bushwhack through the emotional mess. We have to find, there's the thing. And now we can bring it out to the light, see what we actually have, and create something together, right? But it's excavation, not imposition of any kind.
I don't think y'all understand how beautiful that was. Because I think what's really beautiful about theater and stage is community. So.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is, we've been touring, doing the version of this. I mean, Grayson's just off stage. She's an amazing actor. Also a military spouse, married to a Green Beret. And so over the couple of years now, my wife and I, who we've been married about 30 years, we've really found this nonprofit effort that we're doing to be a very, very powerful way to not only help veterans heal, but also to educate civilians. Because most people today don't really get exposed to military life. It's what you see in the movies, and that's just not real at all. And so when you put, to your point, community, when you put a group of people in a room like this, some of them are civilians, some of them are military, people of different color, ethnicity, religion, and you tell a story that actually happened on the battlefield from someone who lived it. When it's over and the lights come up, we're all sitting there breathing the same air and we all went on the same ride. And now we can have a real conversation. And I just think that's one of the things that's missing from the world today is there's no shared perspective. Everybody's divided into their groups to the point that there is no community. And I think you're right, art and theater, that's kind of our last best hope for bringing it back. At least that's how we look at it. And I think that's why we're so adamant about taking it on the road.
And that's one of the reasons, actually, because I'm not military. The closest I am to that is I have my grandfather's World War II scratchy green wool blanket in the trunk of my car for if I have to get, change a tire. But one of the reasons I've stuck with Scott and this nonprofit that is so veteran-centric and veteran-led is because I can bring some of that civilian shared perspective to them, saying, you don't understand what our blind spots actually are. I've learned so much. He mentions having no idea. We took last out to Fort Carson. I'd never been on a base before. And I went on this base going, you have a bowling alley? There's a school? I had no idea what military life was even like. Because again, it's all through pop culture. It's not the reality. It's a job as well as a calling for a lot of people. Same as you or me in theater. It's a calling and a job both. So to find that overlap, Scott and his team bring so much to me. I feel like I bring a lot to them. And it's that, I love it, the shared perspective that we now try to bring to an audience too, whether it's a veteran audience, a civilian audience, whatever.
Yeah, people need it.
Why Wild Project?
Well, first of all, I have to throw mad props to Grayson because we knew we wanted to come to New York at some point. And she has deep background here. And I just said to her, because she's our artistic director, I just said, look, find the spot that it best represents what we're trying to do. That really represents community and connection, and that we could walk in here because we're just not getting this thing on its feet. And as soon as she said, I've got the perfect spot, we knew. And then when I saw the walkthrough of the space, and then when I got here, I was like, oh my God, this is actually the place where it has to be. I think we'll look back on the tour, because try to imagine, like, out in that audience, you've got people that have lost limbs, you have mothers that lost their child in this story, right? And they need a place where they can sit and where you can hold space for them and they feel connected. And that's it. That's this space right here. I mean, like, it is. And so it's kind of become, I think, a baseline for what we're going to look for every place we go. So yeah, I mean, it was just the right place for the start of this tour, for sure.
I want to say one more thing too, because Scott will never do this for himself. Because he's so mission driven and his heart is so open and generous. He may have started acting at 50. He's a really good actor. And the play it may sound like, oh, veterans and Afghanistan and this and that, after school special, but it's not. It's like, it's visceral. It's a thriller, right? It's a rescue mission in real time. People just improvising, how do I save my buddy? It's friendship, it's honor. I mean, it's just also, because again, if it's not entertaining, no one's going to pay attention, right? So that's been something that we've had to navigate carefully, the balance between it's good for you, but spoonful of sugar too.
Like, people come to a show thinking that they're doing a favor for the folks putting on the show, but the reality is it's pretty damn good storytelling.
I can't even say it better. So come and see 11 Days. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
We can't wait to see what happens next.
Wild Project.
This is Into the Wild. Have a good one.
Into the Wild, nice.